Today, I'll be telling you my thoughts on the beta kits of Cerydra and Hysilens. It seems my predictions might be coming true for Cerydra, which is kinda funny, honestly. People denied it even as a possibility. But before that, let me introduce you to the best platform for recharging Stellar Jades, LD Shop. On LD Shop, you can purchase Stellar Jades at an extremely cheap rate compared to in-game. Using LD Shop, you can save up to 33% or even more when recharging your Honkai Star Rail accounts. Today, I'll be buying this Jade Pack that only costs $39.35 compared to the in-game price of $50. All you need to do is give LD Shop your account's UID and region, send your payment, and the Stellar Jades will be sent straight to your account in less than a minute. On top of that, if you recharge up to $80 in a month, you can get a supply pass for free straight from the website, which can be treated as another $5 discount on any purchase. Even if you use VPN method, you can never get a cheaper price than LD Shop with the free supply pass. There's no reason to not use this website. People who say there are risks to doing this are complete idiots that don't know how it works. I swear on my channel's integrity that you will not be banned or scammed. Don't forget to register using my link in the description for an extra 15% off coupon. I hope you would recharge on this website after registering using my link because that's the best way to support my channel as YouTube's ad revenue is genuinely horrendous. Anyways, for Cerydra, the first scenario I proposed came true. Remember, before her kits even released, I said either Cerydra will need saving herself or she'll be broken too. Well, I was proposing scenarios where Cerydra won't save Finan, and it seems that the first scenario has came true. People were saying, no, there's no way they would make a harmony like Tiao, but it seems that once again, I'm right. Cerydra is so horrendously niche now that she literally only functions in one or maybe two teams if you stretch it. One of those teams already being a terrible one. Literally nobody in the game wants this character, which is crazy. Even Anaxa can do just fine with Robin or Tribby in her slots. So basically she's tied to Finan and Finan only, just like Jiao with Acheron. And that character dogshit beyond belief as you might know by now. Cerydra being tied to Finan gives her a negative pull value, because not only is Finan a DPS unit, which tends to be replaceable, he's also a low ceiling unit on top of that. So unlike certain DPSs like Zila, Acheron, Facial, etc., who survived months and years after their release, Finan will be fucked a few patches down the line like Fireflop. So when that happens, who will Cerydra be paired with? Not only are you losing one cost, you're losing two costs in total by pulling her. Now, some Finan mains might think that just because she's an upgrade for him, he can stay in meta longer, but that's bullshit too. She's barely like a 20-something% increase over Bronya, with a lot of clunkiness in her kits since not all the meteors are buffed because of how her kit works. This makes her worse than his fucking light cone, and much worse than his E2. In fact, since his E2 is more than double than Cerydra's increase, even if his E1 didn't exist, it would still be more efficient to pull compared to Cerydra. The funniest part is, even with all these increases, he's barely keeping up with other DPSs outside of MLC. In fact, an AS Saber is literally bare minimum 10 times better, as an E0S0 Saber with sustain can clear faster than an E6S5 Finan sustainless, unless you wheelchair him with even more support idolins. If you do wheelchair him, he can barely match a Saber with no relic main stat, empty team slot, no show buff, and no support idolins. Maybe even hungry and blindfolded at the same time. So despite his increases being high, he's useless outside of his main game mode, and Cerydra offers an even lower increase than that. So yeah, it's over. It seems that Hoyoverse is releasing another unsellable units after Finan. I'll be eating grass during her banner, so yeah, use my LD shop link. Now for Hysilens, better known as Lysera Wet Dream, she actually got gigabuffed. It seems that she makes DOT a viable option now. Her E1 is now in her base kits, and her energy got lowered by 20. She basically multiplied DOT's ceiling by a couple of times. From what I've seen, even against Lygus, one detonation of hers can do 1,000,000 damage. She's obviously OP in Pure Fiction too, since enemies move crazy often. The most impressive feats of hers this season is definitely AS. Because of a ridiculous buff that only exists on this specific AS, she's able to do a 2-cost 0 AV clear, not a 0 cycle, by regenerating 6 energy per DOT damage dealt by her. A fucking 2-cost 0 AV clear is unheard of. This might be the first and last chance in my career where I can unironically get 8,000 score in Apocalyptic Shadow, a true 0 AV clear, and I would owe it all to Hysilens. This is the only time in history 8,000 score is possible with waifus only at a lowish cost too, so that's genuinely ridiculous. There's one catch though. Her 2-cost 0 AV needs Tingyun, and my saber will also need Tingyun, meaning there will be a clash. There's two solutions. Either they nerf her ult's cost to 100 to match Jiaoqiu, which is the best case scenario and allows me to 0 AV without Tingyun, since she'll be able to infinite ult loop with 8 DOTs on the Flame Reaver. The other scenario is where I'll need her E6, which allows me to infinite ult loop at 8 cost, 7 into Hysilens, 1 into Kafka, no Tingyun needed. I really hope I don't need to pull her E6 because I don't have that amount of disposable income. There's a third crackpot scenario where her E6 gets moved forward to E2, but that's never going to happen. So only 2 real scenarios for me to get 8,000 score. There might never be another time where I can do it ever, since waifus only and not max cost mixing together for 8,000 score is really unlikely. This is a miracle brought to us by Saber and Hysilens. God bless Raiden Oshimori Mei. At least one character is good in this patch, and luckily it's not the lolicon bait. That's all for today, and I'll see you in the next one.